Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Miami Heatran. Okay guys, so, greetings Lucky Legends, welcome to the dojo. My name is Lucky, this is Lucky Lad TV, I'm your host for this video, and it is time for the PBL Season 2 Miami Heatran Draft Analysis. I am Lucky, your coach of the Miami Heatran, and yeah, I'm just going to break this down for you guys. As you can see, we have a good draft. We have a very good draft. In my opinion, we have the best draft. In designing the draft, I kind of want to explain to you guys how I went about doing it. I wanted to have as few type overlaps as possible. I also wanted to avoid any double weaknesses to rock and any double weaknesses in general. I accomplished both of those. I wanted to make sure I had at least one defogger. Rapid spinning I wasn't as worried about in this format. I wanted to make sure I had a stealth rocker. I wanted to make sure I had setup sweepers, wall breakers, walls, pivots. I wanted to make sure I had a little bit of everything, because that's kind of what you need in this format, and that is why my first draft was Mew, because Mew does everything. And I'm going to take off my headphones because I can't really hear myself. I can't hear myself very well, and that's kind of annoying for me. So, we're going to keep going like this. And I want to explain to you guys, piece by piece, step by step, how I drafted, why I drafted, and what each of these mobs are going to be doing. So first up is, of course, Mew. Mew was my first overall draft pick. It was the third overall pick of the entire league, after Mega Sableye and Mega Metagross. Why go with Mew? Well, Mew, for one thing, learns every TM, every HM, every tutor move, along with a few other moves that it gets by leveling up, including Transform and Aura Sphere are two that come to mind. I went with Mew because it is a gap filler. If there is something that you need on your team that you don't have, you can use Mew. It can fill just about any gap that you need it to. It can be physically defensive with Will-O-Wisp and Cobra Berry, if you want. It can be specially defensive with an Assault Vest or Leftovers. It can be a physical attacker. You can put a Choice Band on it. You can give it Swords Dance. It learns Agility. You can make it specially offensive with Nasty Plot. It can do whatever you need it to. Whatever you need it to. And that is why I drafted Mew. I have seen A-Drive use it in the GBA. I have seen Shady use it in the UCL, and it puts in work. No matter how you use it. It is dangerous. I apologize. It is very, very late right now when I'm recording this, because I basically recorded it after I finished making all of my graphics and finishing my draft, which took a while. Anyway, our second draft pick was Thundurus Incarnate. Now, my thought process here. Thundurus Incarnate has the ability Prankster with access to the move Thunder Wave. That was the first thing that came to mind, because when you have something like Mega Metagross tearing through the format, you want to be able to paralyze that thing and slow it down, because it's fast. It has base 110 speed. That is something that I will get into a little bit later with one of my future drafts, but right now I just want you to understand how dangerous Mega Metagross is. In the UCL right now, Mega Metagross, Z-Drive, coached by my good friend A-Drive, has, I believe, 29 kills in 13 weeks, I believe. Something absolutely absurd like that. And my mom just came home, so you may hear some noise from my dogs or from her. But Anyway, Thundurus Incarnate, it also has access to Volt Switch, which is very nice. It only has 2 weaknesses in Ice and Rock. And it also has access to U-Turn. But the Prankster Thunder Wave is what I was really looking for. That Prankster Thunder Wave. Because you can slow so many things down. Thundurus also has great bulk. It has Prankster Nasty Plot as well, making it a very dangerous setup sweeper. It also has access to Substitute, of course. Things like Toxic. It does a little bit of everything. And it's got decent bulk to it. It's not super fat, but, it has good bulk to it. And then to round out our UU drafts, I wanted something that resisted Dark. Because for our first 2 drafts, we were weak to knockoff. Again, I apologize for yawning. So I went with Clefable because I also wanted something that had Magic Guard. Because in OU, I was 3rd pick. Which means I was 3rd, and then Snake Style, it went down and back up. So I had relatively late picks for the rest of it. In a draft style format, you want to be in the middle, because that means there's the least amount of time between 2 of your picks. You want it to be like, I think 12 in between each, or maybe 14. I'm not sure. But basically, I was first overall pick in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I drafted Suicune. I don't like Suicune very much. I like Suicune, but I hate Crocoon. I hate Crocoon so much. Or rather, I hate going against it. I drafted Suicune so that I wouldn't have to deal with anybody else who drafted Suicune. Because Suicune is fucking terrifying. It will tear through pretty much any team if you do not have the proper resistances. It walls the crap out of things like Metagross and can Scald Burn it. It also has access to Shadow Ball and other things. And Extrasensory, Ice Beam. And it can wall most... It can wall stuff like Garchomp and Salamence relatively well just because of how naturally fat it is. But, again, Mega Metagross is still an issue because of the coverage that it has. It has access to Meteor Mash for Clefable. It has access to Ice Punch for Thundurus. It has access to Thunder Punch for Suicune. And it has access to Meteor Mash for Mew as well. It's not super effective, but it'll do a shitload of damage because Mega Metagross is crazy strong. So I needed something that could outspeed Mega Metagross and demolish it. Mega Metagross has base 140 defense, I believe. It's really fast. Its special defense is also very high, but lower, which is why I drafted Mega Houndoom. Mega Houndoom is a wall breaker, and Mega Metagross is a wall, in my opinion. Mega Houndoom has 140 base special attack, which is very high. But the important thing is, Mega Houndoom has base 115 speed. It has a base speed that is 5 points higher than Mega Metagross, which means that I can guarantee I can outspeed Mega Metagross and destroy it with a Fire Blast. That is why I went with Houndoom. Or rather, Mega Houndoom. Then I realized I really wanted a Steel type to deal with, poison. And I wanted a Fighting type to deal with big, fat, bulky, normal types that would cause me problems. So I originally wanted Lucario. Lucario was not available. Lucario was drafted very, very quickly. So I went with Cobalion. Because Cobalion also has access to Stealth Rock, it learns Sword Stance, I think it learns Agility, which is kind of scary. Or maybe it's Rock Polish. I'm pretty sure it learns something to boost its speed. But even if it doesn't, it has base 108 speed to begin with. But Cobalion, I was very comfortable with. It did a little bit of everything that I needed it to. And it's also a decent physical wall. It has base 129 defense, which is quite nice. And it also has access to Volt Switch, interestingly enough. So, good Volt turn action between Mew, Thundurus, and Cobalion right there. On to RU. I was terrified this thing was going to get picked. It did not. I took it immediately. Your boy Bacchus. Tangrowth. Bacchus is the, I believe, it's either Roman or Greek. I can't remember, but he's the god of the vines. Ergo, Tangrowth. Tangrowth is, as Mega Mogwai put it, one of the most dangerous Pokemon in RU because of how viable it is in OU. And technically, this is a mixed OU format. That is technically what it is, because you have a maximum of 3 OU Pokemon. So, yes, it is technically mixed OU. And Tangrowth is crazy fat, and it has Regenerator, and it has a really nice move pool. It has access to Knockoff, it has access to Leaf Storm, it has access to Giga Drain, Synthesis, Leech Seed, Hidden Power, Rock Slide, other shit that I can't think of. It does so much, and it puts in work, and it's fat. Did I mention that it's fat? Because it's quite fat. So that was really my logic behind Tangrowth right there. It's really built more to be a physical wall, but if you max out its special defense and give it an Assault Vest, it can take pretty much any hit that exists. So Tangrowth was kind of my idea for a neutral wall, because I kind of used RU as the tier to draft my wall. And as the ultimate physical wall, I drafted Cofagrigus. Osiris, our Cofagrigus. I forgot to give you guys all the other nicknames, so I'll just go through them real quick. Mew is 151, Thundurus is Zeus, Clefable is Luna. Suicune is Borealis, because Suicune is the Aurora Pokemon, Aurora Borealis. There you go. Mega Houndoom is Cujo. Cobalion is 27-58.9 something, which is it. 27 is the atomic number of Cobalt, and 58 point blah 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 is the atomic weight. Tangrowth, Bacchus, Cofagrigus, Osiris. Osiris walls Mega Lopunny. You're probably thinking, but Mega Lopunny has Scrappy. It will for one attack, because then Mummy activates, and Mummy takes away its ability Scrappy and gives it Mummy instead. At which point, we can then burn, we'll burn it the first turn anyway with Will-O-Wisp, but we can neutralize pretty much any physical threat. We can get rid of Moxie. We can get rid of Mold Breaker. We can get rid of all sorts of shit. We can get rid of Sheer Force if the Pokemon is physical. It puts in so much work, and Mummy is such a dangerous ability, because it stops physical sweepers in their tracks most of the time. It can wall stuff like Megazord X, because it gets rid of the Tough Claws boost. Granted, that's only a 30% increase, but that's still 30% less damage that you're taking. So, that was our prime physical wall. But we needed a special wall. And I also wanted something that could Volt Switch or U-turn that was slow. Because sometimes slow switch initiative is really important. So I went with Togetic. You're probably thinking, but you already have a flying type and you already have a fairy type. Togetic serves a different purpose. Togetic is a cleric. Togetic is a set-up baton passer. It has access to Nasty Plot and Baton Pass. Togetic is also an Eviolite Mon. And I didn't want to have too many of those. I only have 2 on my entire roster. And I wanted to minimize that as much as possible. Togetic is also one of the type of Pokemon that can kind of fill in gaps, because it learns a really nice variety of moves. And Togetic is L-7-7-7-L. because it looks like the jackpot thing from a casino, which is based on Pokedex entry that it brings good fortune to people. So that was my theory of the Togetic there. It was kind of rushed, but I completely stand behind it. There's nothing on my team that I plan on releasing for free agency, because I'm very happy with my draft. It's very solid, it's very well-rounded. I honestly can't think of anything that I would want to replace on this team. I'm very, very happy with it. Next up we have Hamhawk, our Piloswine. Piloswine is the ultimate check to things like Salamence, Garchomp, Flygon, other dragon types that are double weak to ice that I can't think of right now for some reason. Dragonite, that's the other one. The reason being, with Eviolite, it demolishes them, because they can't do like anything to us, and Ice Shard is a 2-hit KO. And if not Ice Shard, Icicle Crash is usually a 1-hit KO. There's nothing that they can really do to us that we can't do to them that's way worse. So that's Hamhawk. Hamhawk is destruction. Hamhawk is pure destruction on my opponent if they have one of those types of Pokemon. That's a perfect example of why I avoided double weaknesses. They cause problems. And next up we have Muck. Muck, non-Newtonian, our Muck. I needed a poison type, I needed a secondary Spadaf Wall, I needed something that had some priority, something that could set up as well, and I wanted something that just had nice natural bulk. Not crazy bulk, but just like, it can take a hit easily. Muck is a pivot because it's very hard to hit without getting hit back really hard. And that was really all that there was there, and pretty much the only Pokemon that you've ever seen on the channel before with its name. Nermal! Nermal was the last pick of the entire draft, and I was actually worried that it was going to get taken because Purugly is power. Purugly has a very unique capability in lower tiers. It walls your standard opening Vivillon, however you want to pronounce it. Because Fake Out and Return take out Vivillon, and you outspeed it. So Vivillon can't put anything to sleep, it can't set up any Quiver Dances, it just dies. Life Orb Fake Out followed by Return takes it out. And then you can U-turn out on your opponent's next Pokemon, because Purugly has access to U-turn. It also has access to Knockoff, Shadow Claw, Body Slam, Facade, some other stuff probably. It has really nice coverage. It also has access to Thick Fat. My team was having a little bit of a trouble with Ice, just because our Ice resists weren't that bulky with the exception of Suicune. So I wanted to just have a secondary Ice resistance that could take an Ice hit and then fire back with an attack. That is our draft. That's really all that there is to it. This video is right around what I expected, right around 20 minutes. So, thank you guys for supporting your Miami Heatran. I will see you all in the next video. This is not my grand return, as I'm sure you have figured out. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. It is very much greatly appreciated. But with that, I'm going to get about. Best of luck to you out there. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.